Hi, my name is Jessica Whistler, and I am in the fall 2025 Global Relations class, and my topic is unequal access and qualifications in global schooling. I chose this topic because I wanted to learn more about other schools and how they deal with their schooling. In most PA schools, people have laptops or computers and classrooms. While we have very active public schoolings, but also most of it's paid by taxes and whatnot, I want to know how other countries have schooling. I have already looked into economic and health inequalities. In the health inequalities, I learned that there is not enough education to get more doctors in lower income countries. Learning about that, I wanted to look into schooling in other countries and see what access they have. Not only do I want to learn about how qualified people are in different school systems, but also how everyone can learn in different school systems. I've learned about the digital divide in high school and find this very interesting, which is why I wanted to research this. All of this interests me, and I just want to learn more about it, especially since I am currently a college student. I wanted to look into different access. Unequal access. It is the widespread issue of schools which is driven by multiple factors. The different factors are poverty, gender, discrimination, geographical location, and the digital divide. The factors create disparities in opportunities and long-term outcome of children everywhere. Unequal qualifications. It stems from disparities in access, quality, and recognition of education in countries. These inequalities are influenced by a ton of different factors, including socioeconomic factors and systematic factors, which affects every student's outcome. Unequal access in schooling. Gender inequality. In low-income countries, there are still cultural norms that are practiced. This often prevents young girls from getting or continuing their education. In places like South Asia and some places in Africa, the girls must follow the cultural norms. These norms consist of early marriages, gender-based violence, and inadequate acceptance of girls in schools. Systematic and discriminatory barriers. Racial, ethnic, and ableist views all affect access to education. Most schools are biased against these groups, and they do not get fair schooling. In most schools, minorities and indigenous groups face language barriers and do not understand the curriculum. They also face learning that does not fit with their beliefs, which is making education uncomfortable and unfair for them. Unequal qualification in schooling. Teacher support. These teachers in these schools have less access to equipment and education, making their teaching less qualified. Access to quality education. Most children in different countries still do not get the education they need. They do not have access to the kind of education that other countries do, and if they do not start getting it, or start at a proper age, or stay till a proper age, then they will most likely be behind other countries. Unequal access and unequal qualification in schooling. Socioeconomic and geographical. Poverty is one of the most significant barriers. Children in rural areas have less access to schools than in urban communities. Families that are low income in countries cannot afford schooling, especially the costs like uniforms, supplies, and books, which forces their children to have to drop out. While higher income countries have public schools paid by taxes and other things, a student's background heavily influences their education and opportunities. Children in rural areas have a disadvantage because their schools are not nearby, leading to poor transportation, a shortage of teachers, and limited access to basic needs. The digital divide. This is an increasing reliance on technology and education and is highlighted by the significant divide in different schools and countries. This mainly got worse during the COVID-19 outbreak, and it made it very prominent that different schools do not have the same access to technology, causing a divide in education. This is lower income countries. You can see how there's little students. The digital divide is the gap between people who have access to modern information and communication technologies and those who don't. This is showing the digital divide. This is people with it. This is people without it. This is just stuff that the digital divide gap creates. And This is a march on education talking about how money matters and how you have to give money for kids to be able to get good education. And this is higher income countries. You can see how everyone has a laptop. Well, in this picture, they're all learning from a chalkboard. And you can just see everyone's paying attention. There's a projector. They all have tablets. They all have like desks. It's just a much neater education style, causing a divide. Solutions. Solution to gender inequality is implementing gender-inclusive policies and curriculum to address keeping girls out of school. Education materials should be free from gender stereotypes, and teachers should be more inclusive with their teaching. Systematic and discriminatory barriers. This can be solved by implementing additional and specified support for the population that this is affecting, making special classes for students that don't speak the country's language, or different services for the disabled. Furthering on that, they can create different tutoring, mental health services, and justice programs. Teacher support. This can be solved by enhancing training for teachers and professional development, including mentorship programs. They should invest in more high-quality teachers training that focuses on their new skills and practices, implementing programs for new teachers and pairing them with experienced teachers. Access to quality education. A few ways to get better schooling would be equitable school funding, increased investment, and financial aid. Shift taxes to fund schooling. Government may provide aid, and budget to schools, focusing on low-income backgrounds to elevate the economic barrier. Socioeconomic and geographical. Providing support services that address the social and economic needs of the student and their family, adding inadequate health care, nutrition programs, and family help. The digital divide. The device distribution and affordability will help the lower income families, adding public school points, establishing different places. Adding different public access points like libraries with free internet or other digital tools, and distributing free digital laptops or tablets for the lower income families, and creating a decrease in the digital divide. Thank you for listening to my presentation.